Bar for bar album reviews. R.A. the Rugged Man. All My Heroes Are Dead. All My Heroes Are Dead is the third studio album from New York lyricist R.A. the Rugged Man. R.A. has been in the rap game since the early 90s and has a collaboration list filled with greats, from Biggie and Mobb Deep to Slug of Atmosphere and Brother Ali. With a resume like this, you may be wondering why he isn't included in conversations about lyricism and rapping skill. I'm sure that's something that R.A. has thought about as well and is fully aware of. With something like that, there's bound to be many factors that may contribute. However, we're not going to focus on that right now because that's a discussion for another day. Right now, let's get into the album. All My Heroes Are Dead is the follow-up to his 2013 album Legends Never Die, which I personally enjoyed when it came out. And one of my favorite songs from it, The Dangerous 3, which features Brother Ali and Master Ace, is still in rotation for me. The fact that it's been so long since his last album doesn't actually affect the music too much. The beats and lyrics are pretty much what you would expect from R.A. at this point. He's fairly intricate with his rhyme schemes and makes sure to throw in some fast rap here and there. There's really a lot going on with this album. This isn't a concept album or anything, but rather a collection of songs that offer both conscious rap and a lot of braggadocio. Like, a lot. I feel like the first track actually does a really good job of introducing R.A.'s versatility to new listeners. Both his flow and the beat change up every few bars, going from a slower delivery with a boom bap beat to fast rap with an almost dubstep sounding beat. He actually acknowledges that versatility on the track as well, where he says, whether rapping slow or rapping fast, I'm back at last with a masterclass. From double time to boom bap, I gotta switch the form. Go from battle raps to club records to politics to porn. And that line itself does a really good job of describing R.A., but also it's a pretty accurate description of what this album is. It's all over the place with its subject matter. There's a lot of good and enjoyable tracks here. But the first part of the album, up until Angelic Boy, are fun and full of solid lyricism. However, once we get to that Angelic Boy track, we see a shift. This track is an excellent example of storytelling from the perspective of a 15-year-old school shooter. If that track idea sounds familiar in any way, you have Eminem to thank for that, since he dropped Darkness earlier this year. That track also was told from the perspective of a shooter, but I still feel like Eminem did a better job on it, since the whole track was a double entendre. If you ask R.A. though, I'm sure he'll say that Eminem took that idea from him. But that's another discussion too. This section of the album, starting with Angelic Boy, shows R.A.'s versatility in songs, because it goes from a dark storytelling track with Angelic Boy to a fast rap track featuring Afro and DJ Jazzy Jeff on Gotta Be Dope. And then it goes into a heartfelt song dedicated to his daughter titled Firstborn. It's really at this point where the album gets a little messy, at least for me. The first few tracks go well together in terms of themes, but once we get to Angelic Boy, we start to see the other side of RA's versatility. It's great to be able to provide these sorts of tracks, but when the subject matter changes up with every song, it's a little disorienting. The biggest issue that I really have is that this project feels a little bloated. Like, there's a lot of music here, and it's not necessarily the easiest thing to listen to. There's 22 tracks at an hour and 16 minutes. So many people probably wouldn't want to sit through the album and listen to it all in one sitting. I understand the idea of an artist putting out an album full of different types of songs to appeal to fans that like a particular type of song from them, but that ultimately can be a bad thing. When you have artists that put out solid music but only has albums full of just random songs, it gets hard to listen to that album, especially if those albums are 18 to 20 plus tracks long. We see newer artists getting away with this, longer albums more easily because they typically stick to a singular sound. But people like RA who have the ability to make such a variety of different sounding music, it's harder to be okay with it. It's harder to be okay with longer, inconsistent albums. Maybe it's just me and my idea of what an album should be is wrong, but I typically expect some sort of consistency. And even if all the songs don't sound similar, I'd at least expect that the ones with similar themes would be like placed together or grouped together on the album. That's not what we got here, though. I personally have a hard time calling a collection of songs without a consistent sound and album. But I'm not going to get into that. Negativity aside, this album is probably one of RA's best. I would recommend this album if you're the type of person who appreciates lyricism above all else. And this album isn't bad, I just feel like there's too much going on. But to be fair, that's almost to be expected from this sort of album. Some of my favorite tracks, though, are All My Heroes Are Dead, All Systems Go, EKNY, Contradictionary, and The Afterlife. Hopefully, we don't have to wait as long as we did for this album as we will for RA's next album. And I didn't enjoy this album as much as I thought I would, but it still had highlights. I just hope that next time we get an album that's more consistent and provides us a little more focus on his subject matter. Hell, I'll even take a shorter album if that's what he has to do. Well, anyways, that's all I got. Please let me know what you thought of this album, if you listened to it. Don't let my reviews dissuade you from actually checking it out. It's not a bad album, but anyways, please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what else you want us to review. Bye.